It's your boy Reg in the building. I got my homeboy Tribe with me in the building too.
Uh,
And I got my friend Ash in the building with me as well.
What's good?
You guys asked for it. You guys begged for it. You guys wondered where it was. Well, I am here to tell you. You guys just better appreciate all of the shit I do. Like I really have to listen to bad album after bad album just for y'all. You guys really should just appreciate like what we all go through.
alright.
Like Eminem's Encore, the king of rap, the king of hip hop, as Rolling Stone says. This was released in 2004 on Aftermath under Shady, which was under Interscope. Um, Singles albums known for are Just Lose It, Mosh, Encore, Like Toy Soldiers, Mockingbird, and Ass Like That. Yeah. Oh my fucking god, Jesus Christ. Producers include Dr. Dre, who was also an executive producer. Uh, Eminem, Luis Resto, Mike Elizondo, and Mark Batson. Alright, and guest appearances include 50 Cent, Nate Dogg, Obi Trice, Stack Quail, D12, and Dr. Dre. And just to let y'all know, I got the deluxe edition and shit like that. As you can tell
So,
by,
so
you said what?
the bonus disc. I got the bonus disc as well.
Yeah, I have the bonus disc somewhere around. I think it's like in one of my CD piles up there. I'll get it out after the review, I guess. But yeah. Eminem's okay. So, like I said before, I was not going to touch this album until I reviewed the Eminem Show, which was a much better album in my opinion. Um,
Mhm.
Much better album. And then after that, he was working on the movie 8 Mile. You guys should know 8 Mile. The hip hop, kind of like it's kind of like the Purple Rain of hip hop biopic when it comes to hip hop. Because it's like a semi autobiographical story and shit like that. I know I fucked that word up, but still. Um, yeah, and it was around this time too that he started getting addicted to pills and shit. You know what I'm saying? Cause around like 2002, 2003, it was like a crazy year for like crazy times for like Eminem and shit like that. Because around that time, he was sentenced. He was got in a lawsuit with this French pianist named Jacques Louisier because of the fact that they used one of his samples without permission and shit like that. And also around 2003, there was like this song called "We as Americans," which was like kind of like a promo single for this project and shit like that. And that song caused so much controversy because of this political message that George W. Bush pretty much called Eminem like the biggest threat in the United States and shit like that. Um, Also around that time too, he was getting into like a lot of beefs with motherfuckers and shit like that. Like, he was beefing with the Source. He was beefing with the Source, mostly Benzino because, Benzino's been always been shitting Eminem for years and shit, and it kind of reached a peak because there was this tape that this unreleased song from Eminem like before he was famous, where he rapped about he disrespected this black girl he used to date and shit like that, and a lot of people was like questioning him about that, which he talks about on this album too. Um, Also around that time too, he was also caught up in the beef with Ja Rule slash and Murder Inc. Records. You know, which he threw some shots at them too on his album and shit. So he was caught up in that bullshit, and around the time too, he also produced Tupac's Resurrection soundtrack and shit like that, which led him to also producing the Loyal to the Game posthumous album. And I know what you guys are gonna ask me, and no, I'm not gonna touch that Loyal to the Game album. I know some people kind of request me to do that once in the past. No, I'm not touching that one. Sorry, not sorry. Um, so then the first single was Just Lose It. Caught a lot of controversy, which we're going to talk about that after. And so with this album, it's like more comedic. Since he was doing like a lot of pills, it was like more comedic and shit like that. And one thing I did not know, this was supposed to be his last album. Believe it or not.
Oh Lord.
Really?
Mhm.
What a way to go out, though.
Yeah, because it was crazy because I knew like he took a hiatus between this album and Relapse and shit. I'm not gonna count like the curtain call hits, the Eminem presents the re-up. I'm not gonna count those and shit. But yeah, I didn't know this was supposed to be his last album. Really did not know. And if it was, what a way to go out. And I'm not saying that in a good way.
That's probably why he came back.
But man, but when he came back, he had like a few like albums I can actually call great and like I can actually bump like I liked Relapse I liked, but the voice fucked up over some songs and shit like that. But one day we'll talk about Relapse one day. But yeah, the original cover, which I'm gonna post in a minute once we talk about the tracks. The original cover just has Eminem dressed as in like in a suit, and he's giving a bow and shit like that. This one it kind of has like kind of feels like a concert, like like kind of reminds me of motherfuckers at the operas and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Just throwing it out there.
Mm-hmm.
You got Eminem right here and shit. Some shit like here. Oh God. Oh wow. Comes with a lot. Oh. This is like I think it's like a bonus disc if I'm not mistaken. Um, just some pictures of Eminem. This is in case you have the special edition. Yeah.
Well, you got the other edition.
You said what?
The one with, you got the other edition, the one with the crowd as the album cover?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's the one with the pictures. Oh, I got the one with the bonus CD that has the three bonus tracks with We as Americans and Love You More and the other joint Vicky Talk or something.
Yeah, I got that one too. Cause remember when I had that CD lot a couple months ago?
Right.
Yeah, I remember this came with it and shit like that. So that's how I got that. Cause I also got the Curtain Call the Hits compilation too.
Yeah, I got that one too. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. But anyway, anything else I have to say? Oh, I forgot. This is actually very important. I have to say. Originally, he actually had to rush release this album because a lot of the songs got leaked and shit like that. So it pretty much caught the Nostradamus curse, if you ask me. So just throwing that shit out there. I'm just throwing that shit out there.
I didn't hear nothing from this album when it leaked though. I didn't hear no leaked tracks.
Yeah, We as Americans, and I think like an early version of Marsh was released. Cause I remember when this album came out. Of course, I wasn't like a fan of Eminem, but I saw the commercials and everything like that. And I remember they always used to play Just Lose It and shit like that until it got banned, of course.
Right.
Which, like again, there's a crazy story with that shit too. Cause that proved how Michael Jackson was a gangster at that time. But I'm getting way ahead of myself. Getting way ahead of myself. So, oh boy, let's get this started. Track number 1, Curtains Up the Skit. Nothing to it, just everyone him presenting the show and stuff like that, saying welcome to the skit, because it kind of picks off where the Eminem show left off, if that makes sense, because like the Eminem show Encore, then Curtain Call, the hits and shit. That's one thing I just thought about.
Right.
Yeah, nothing really to it, to be real.
I didn't. Intro was okay. It was they just chanting the crowd chanting Eminem name, but I think it wasn't like a great intro.
Facts. Alright, track two, Evil Deeds. This was produced by Dr. Dre. Very dope Dr. Dre beat, cause especially around this time, cause Dre's production, like in my opinion, Dre's production in the mid 2000s was kind of hit or miss in my opinion, but this was actually pretty straight, Um, I kind of give a lot of shit to Relapse sometimes when I talk about Eminem's flow, unorthodox flows beginning around that era, but I also want to say it kind of begun around the Encore because his unorthodox flow was actually pretty nice on this track right here. With this track, he's talking about like a lot of things he was going through around this time and shit like that. Um, yeah, and it was like I said before, a nice Dr. Dre beat. So this is actually one of the better tracks off this album already.
Yeah, I didn't like this track at first. Like I want to say like many years later, I actually liked it.
Mm-hmm.
That should have really started off the album instead of the intro. Just go right into it, and at this point, you didn't need no intro. Like you're Eminem, you sold millions of records, you're like artist of the decade, and then I saw the dude for like a rap artist at that in our genre doing that, and I felt like he could have just made this the first track. But I like it. I like the bass line and the that boom 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 that Dre beat, and the chorus was dope where he's like, Father, please forgive me for I know not what I do. And he was
Right.
like flowing along to the beat. And Eminem was always good with his choruses. Even if he wasn't singing them, he always made like his choruses fit like whatever type of beat he was on. So I like this. This was actually one of the solid tracks on here. But yeah, this was a dope joint. If he had came out with this as a single or like a teaser, that would have been dope. That would have got me hyped for this album. But I don't remember like hearing anything from this album until Just Lose It dropped. But this was a great track to start the album on.
Facts. Alright. Which leads us into the next track, Never Enough, featuring Nate Dogg and 50 Cent. To be honest, I don't really know how I feel about this track, to be honest, because they're talking about rap beefs and shit like that, and they're saying how rap beats are getting out of hand and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, 50 likes to beef with everybody he sees and shit, so to be honest, it's a nice concept, but I don't really know how I really feel about it. It's always nice to hear Nate Dogg on the chorus, Rest in peace to Nate Dogg.
Yeah. It's another song that I didn't really like when I first heard it, and then over time I liked it. I liked the beat. It's real sparse. I like the key. The lyrics that Eminem says, and I could give a fuck what category you place me, as long as I'm pushing up daisies and going, as long as you place me amongst one of the greats. When I hit the heavenly gates, I'll be cool beside Jay-Z. So him talking about being a legend like Jay. And I always put like I've put Eminem in the past, high on that Mount Rushmore, with Jay Z and Biggie and Pac and Nas, and I still believe he's one of the greats. Um I feel like maybe like the recent type of albums like has diminished that, but I still feel like he's one of the best lyrically to ever do it, and being a Caucasian artist at that, in our genre of music to accomplish so much that he has, and he's accomplished more than our own African American rap artists. And I still feel like he's one of the best. I just feel like his recent stuff is not even a shell of what he used to do.
Facts. Definitely facts. Alright, and then which leads us into the next track, Yellow Brick Road. This is the infamous track where he talks about the old tape where he dissed the black girl and he said black women are dumb and use you for money off the foolish. It's a song called Foolish Pride. Um, I mean, I respect what he was trying to do and shit like that, but I never really cared too much for this track and shit. I mean,
Mm.
however, I did like the second verse while he was going in and why, him and the girl broke up and why he did the tape because he was dropping like a lot of old school, like legendary rappers, like how I like the line where he says, it was cool till your man MC Shan came through. He said that Puma's the brand cause the clan makes troops. It was rumors, but man, goddamn, they flew. Must have been true because man, we done banned the shoes. And then he was talking about how when he and Kim broke up for the first time and shit like that, he started dating this black girl and stuff like that because she liked the way he was rapping and stuff. And pretty much, I think um he trying to date her to make Kim jealous and shit. And next thing you know it, she dumped him for another black guy, and that's how he made the foolish pride shit. So, and the first verse when he trying to say, "Oh, I was poor growing up and shit like that," you know what I'm saying? So, that's an alright. I was like I said, that's an alright track. He just putting out why he did what he had to do. So, yeah.
So, like,
You said
I
what?
don't like it. I thought it was whack. I don't like this the title for the song. I don't like the nothing about it.
Right, Yellow
I
Brick
don't know.
Road,
Like
like Wizard of Oz. What the fuck that got to do with it?
like what is this I'm hearing, yo? Like what is that? Like why do out of he could have picked another title for that whole situation he went through with the black girl. I don't understand why you picked a Wizard of Oz reference. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the, I don't know. I just thought it was terrible. And I think Eminem over the years, like he's left as an artist and as a person, he's left himself vulnerable for people to criticize like his personal relationship with Kim. We already know about that story. It's like any songs you don't keep doing about Kim. Be like he's done a song about Kim album. I just feel like it's already like a boring topic now. And you know, I don't. I think he was young and he met this whole thing about this. Is another thing I want to say. Like this whole thing about black people feeling like they can't relate to Eminem, what Eminem say. If you grew up poor, then you can relate to what Eminem said. Eminem grew up poor as well. Like whether he came from the projects or he came from a trailer park, poor is poor.
Right.
So I don't get why now. Like I hear a lot of people, a lot of black people saying that they don't fuck with M because they can't relate to what he's saying. But if you grew up poor, then you can relate to what he's saying. If you had baby mama issues, you can relate to what he's saying. He had baby mama issues with Kim. So I don't like buy that whole thing about, oh well, I'm not gonna fuck with him because he's white. Because I mean, to me, music is colorblind. There should be none of that going on in music or in society, period. And I feel like now he's getting all this hate because, oh well, whatever Lord Jamar's thinks about him, and or what he's against in our genre. Like hip hop is for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, even if we started it, I don't hear that. I never hear nobody say that about Necro or Slain or Everlast or Vinny Paz. So why does Eminem get all the hate? Because he sold more records than them? So I just feel like that. I mean, if he ever listen, right? If we would be stupid to think that white people never said the N word, they not never said it around us. But I'm pretty sure in the confines of their home or in the cozy suburbs that they live in, they've said the N word to each other.
Of course.
So let's not pretend that they never did that. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I think if that happened, he made a mistake, and that was and Eminem grew up with white people, so I mean, he grew up with white people, he grew up with black people. So, I mean, if that's what happened, that's what happened. I'm not going to crucify him forever because the N word slipped out of his mouth. Just don't say that shit around, black people. But, I didn't care for that. This is one of the songs I didn't care for. Like, I didn't like it.
Yeah, I didn't really care for. I didn't really like the title, y'all. I didn't get the title. I mean, it is what it is. This album, man. It's a long ass album, to be real with you. It's a long ass album. Which brings us to the next track. What's the next track? It's called Like Toy Soldiers.
Yeah, toy soldiers.
Oh my fucking god. I don't like that beat. I heard that sample, like that sample and shit like that. It's that step by step. I like the song, but I ain't like the way he sped it up and shit. Um, Basically, what I got from like Toy Soldiers is the fact that he claiming victory, and shit like that in his beat, but at the same time, he says that certain beats will pull your certain friends apart and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And the music video is kind of eerie. if you ask me, because it's detailing Bugs' death from D12, and if I'm not mistaken, Proof played Bugs, and then years later Proof ended up dying and shit. So that's kind of eerie as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I didn't really care too much. At the fucking, I don't really care too much for this track right here and shit like that. I know I was a fan favorite, but I just that beat just gets on my fucking nerves.
I liked it. I thought it was good. Even I know what Reggie's saying about the chorus or whatever, and that was like from like a cheesy 80s joint, but I thought it was like I like the it had like a real patriotic feel to it, like a real like big beat type of Americana type of patriotic vibe. And I mean, I like the fact that he addressed the beef with Benzino and Ja Rule, and when that whole thing went down, which I thought was stupid, because I never liked Benzino, and nobody from Murder Inc. could fuck with M lyrically, and I like the fact that he addressed it, and he realized his mistake, after what happened in the past with other, big rap artists, and the parts where he says, and even though the battle was won, I felt like we lost it. I spent too much energy on it. Honestly, I'm exhausted. And seeing that video with Proof, and a couple years later he ends up dying, and it was just like everything to see, and I thought it was a good song. Like I like the chorus, like the sample was well placed. He didn't do no singing on the chorus, nothing. I thought it was cool.
I feel you. Shoot. Um, Track number 6, which is March. I actually do like this track, believe it or not. This was the
Mhm.
track where he pretty much went after George W. Bush. After the comments that he made and shit like that. I kind of like when Eminem kind of goes political, like shit like this, especially when he was doing a lot of this, like with the Eminem show with White America and Sing for a Moment and shit. So I kind of felt this song definitely was one of his strongest tracks and shit. There's a line that he says where let me pull it up. And like I said before, this was one of the tracks where that was leaked kind of early, if I'm not mistaken. So he says, "Don't matter what color, all that matters will gather together to celebrate for the same cause, no matter the weather. If it rains, let it rain, yeah, the wetter the better. They ain't got to stop us, they can't. It's we stronger now more than ever and shit." I just like that fucking line and shit like that. So yeah, this was like a very controversial track for the time.
I like this is vintage M. Going at the government, going at Bush. We all couldn't stand none of the Bush family members. George Senior, Junior. We couldn't stand them at all. They took us to war, and I'm glad that he was he wasn't you know what I'm saying. I want to say he was like the only artist to really speak out about it in the mainstream like that. I mean, a lot of artists, Nas never did it, Jay Z never did it, and I felt like M was the perfect one to do a song like this and go at Bush and call him out for his wrongs. Kanye did it on that 9/11 telethon, but Kanye never did it in a song, and I felt like M just hit all the right buttons on this song. The melody was like a home melody, beat, the guitars on it. When he says they tell us they tell us no, we say yeah. They tell us stop, we say go. Rebel yell, raise hell. We gonna let them know. Stomp, push, shove, mush, fuck Bush until they bring our troops home. And I it was a very political and controversial. I love the animated video with it, and that's vintage M. That's the type of M I want to hear. I want to hear M do. He have his silly side, and then he have his serious side where he can get personal about his life, and then get political like with songs like this. And I thought it was great single.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. This is actually probably my second favorite track off this album. and shit like that. Believe it or not, like one of the few tracks that I can actually say I can go back and listen to. One of the few.
I, I agree.
Next song is Puke. Oh god, fucking damn. Yeah, this is a song where he wrote about Kim again because they broke up again and shit like that. This is around the time when she got in trouble with the law for drug possession because she was addicted to cocaine at the time. Yeah, I don't care for this track. I dead ass don't even care for this. It's so.
This has the right title for this song. It made me want to puke
Oh
because it
yeah,
is terrible.
terrible.
Oh, it's a whack. I hate it. And it's like a long. It's like we on a long string of bad songs after Marshall. Like this is terrible.
Oh my fucking god. Shit. Next track, my first single. Do you remember that song from the Black album, from Jay-Z's Black album called My First Song?
Right.
This reminds me of it, and I don't like both.
Yeah.
I don't. What is the point of this track? My first single, like,
It
and it's ironic how
should.
both Eminem and Jay-Z's final album had a My First Song kind of. Oh my fucking god! Listen to some of his lines. Like he's making fun of like mainstream rappers and shit. He said he used to be Superman, now I'm pouring liquor on the curb and it's named for him. Eminem, you wait till we meet up again, fucker. I'ma kicking your ass for everything you ever said. It goes one for the money, two for the fucking show. Ready, get set, let's go. Here comes fucking Bronco. This is my first single, burp. But I got fucked that up, so fuck it. That's all I have to say about Let's Meet. Like, what is the point of this? What is the fucking point? It's trash.
Yeah.
Mm.
That should have been his last single.
For real, man. Like, my. Oh.
Whack. Whack song.
Mm. Shit. You have anything more to say, or you good?
It's bad. It was
Alright.
bad. I don't know why you did this. It's terrible.
Oh boy. So next track is the Paul skit. In these series of Paul skits, he's talking about his attorney trying to get at him because there was an issue with, of course, Michael Jackson over the Just Lose It video, which, like I said, we're going to save our thoughts on that. Oh my god.
This album is bad, yo. This is just bad. Like the skit, even the skit I didn't care for. Like he had Paul in every skit. Like I don't understand why it become like like his own thing. Like okay, I gotta get my manager on every album. It was just bad. I didn't like it.
I mean, I don't mind Paul being on the Eminem album because it was actually kind of unique having your manager in a rap album. But at the same time, if the skit's good, the skit's good. If the skit's bad, I'm gonna call it out. And that's how I see
Right.
it. Um, Next track, Rain Man. Didn't care for it.
Nope. Whack.
Whack ass.
Next.
Alright. Big Weenie. This was the Benzino diss track. Big Weenie. Yo, what's your favorite diss track? My favorite diss track is Hit 'Em Up. What's your favorite diss track? My favorite diss track is Ether. What's your favorite diss track? Oh, I like Big Weenie from Eminem. Do you know how weird that title is for a diss track? Like, Big Weenie.
Yeah, because it sound like something a little kid would say to somebody.
Ooh.
I hear you, big weenie.
Yeah.
Oh my fuck. Like, when it comes to like diss tracks titles, you have to have them chilling ass names like No Rest for the Wicked, No Vaseline, Real Motherfucking G's. Hell, even some of Eminem's diss track like Quitter, Hit 'Em Up Part 2. The Marshall Mathers song where he went after Insane Clown Part, like, it has to have a chilling ass name. What the fuck is Big Weenie? Look at some of the lines. For the next 4.5 minutes, we are going to explore into your mind to find out why you're so fucking jealous. Now, why do they make yoo-hoo, pippity, caca, poo-poo? Psych, I'm kidding. I just want to see if you're still listening. Okay, now I need your undivided attention. Sir, I have a question. Why do I always sense it's
Undeniable tension.
beep, pippity, caca, poo-poo? Oh my fucking god. But where the fuck are the, hold on, where the fuck are the comments at? Where the fuck are these niggas at, yo? There's only like respect for Sam and Christian, but still, everyone's been asking me for this fucking album. Ain't nobody here, but fuck it. I'm having fun.
Oh.
Fuck it.
Just bad. I think Eminem was on this. Clearly, you could tell Eminem was on drugs when he did this album because
For
it sounds like shit. A lot of those synths, the flow is off, everything about it, the titles. It's a bad song.
I agree. Oh my fucking god. Next track.
Especially with the part with piggity caca poo poo, then yeah, that's
Oh,
really
please, please, no, no, no. All right. Next track we got is M calls Paul to skit. A continuation of them trying to get addressed to Michael Jackson Just Lose It issue. Which leads us into Just Lose It. Wow. This was when Eminem temporarily lost his ghetto card. Oh wow. You know when Stevie Wonder gets at you and calls you disrespectful, you know you done fucked up.
Ooh.
You know when Steve Harvey starts flapping his jaws, you know you done fucked up.
Mm.
But let me emphasize, Stevie Wonder was pissed. Called it bullshit. Stevie Wonder.
How would you know? Can't see shit. How would you know? How the fuck could he see that video? You know what I mean?
Oh.
So my
What is he
fucking
like?
god.
What it look like? Wonder was pissed.
Hey,
It was
hey.
a lot of
You
raw
know,
people.
you know, you know, motherfuckers say Stevie can see low key, but I don't believe that shit.
I don't believe that
I
either.
don't know.
But let me get into it. Just Lose It was the first single, the traditional comedic first single, and he's getting at everybody like Pee Wee Herman. He was shitting on Michael Jackson. Like he said, I done touched on
Mm.
everything but little boys, and that's not a stab at Michael. That's just a metaphor. I'm just psycho. Lines like fucking. Now this is the part where the rap breaks down. It gets real intense. No one makes a sound, and even the video is mimicking the Pepsi commercial incident and stuff like that. Yeah, they played the video was banned on BET, but here's the gag: it was not banned on MTV. That's the gag.
Mm.
That's the fucking gag right there. And Michael Jackson made MTV popular. Ooh.
Yep.
Y'all see how MTV tries always shits on Michael? Y'all see that shit,
Mm.
right? But yeah, this is like one of the worst hip hop songs I've ever heard. Like dead ass, like, and you have the nerve to get at Michael? Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Mm.
You have the fucking nerve to get at. You know what? There's still some shit I have to say, but I forgot. Okay, so in 2007, Michael Jackson he actually purchased Eminem's publishing rights too. Not only that, but he published a lot of publishing rights. But let's get it straight, he got Eminem's publishing rights, so that just proves out MJ. Like, don't fuck with MJ and shit. Yeah,
Mm.
that's crazy as hell.
So Eminem don't own his own publishing?
I still think to this day it's still owned by Michael Jackson Estate, but I have to look that up. I know.
Oh, crazy.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
like once you own
I
your
ain't
publish,
neither.
yeah, once you own somebody's publishing, it's a wrap. Fuck that. Fuck.
Mm.
That's why Paul McCartney was still mad at him when he died because he owned the Beatles.